Hey, it's Inside the NBA. It's presented by Kia, coming to you live from Studio J in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, sitting in for Charles Barkley, Isaiah Thomas.
Zeke week.
Thank you.
Zeke week on Inside the NBA. Highlights of the Knicks game coming up moments from now. That was a good one as Sacramento held on. There's... I wonder where you're taking that shot. There's Chuck on a shelf.
Chuck on a shelf.
Like the elf on the shelf. More on that later. But we're going to start tonight with game one of our double dip from this game. As we talked about the identity crisis that both teams seem to be in. Isaiah, what do you take away from this game?
Well, anytime that you can win, if you're Chicago right now and you're still looking for that leadership, you're still trying to find your identity, it's good. They didn't play a very good basketball game, but they were able to win. And I think as time goes on, it looks like Butler or Rose will have to take the leadership mantle. Right now, I think they're missing that leadership because when Tibbs walked out of the door, again, they lost the leader of their team. They lost the voice in terms of their coach, but also in terms of someone who set the identity, set the tone, and gave them a personality.
Yeah, I think when you look on the Chicago side, the things that they were really good at, I said at halftime, and that made those players individually good, from Rose to Butler to even Gasol to a point, they're asked to do something different and be good at that. And there's resistance in that, because all of those guys, obviously before Holberg came, had some degree of success. Derrick Rose was the MVP. Butler got a huge contract all before he got there. So there's some resistance to figuring out what really works with what they want to work, Shaq, in their mind, saying, well, I will give up this knowing that this still might work over on the other side. And I don't think they know that yet.
They were known for a defensive team because of their defense intensity. That's not there right now. Like you said, they're trying new things. They can get it back. They just need to be a little bit more consistent. They need to figure it out. And, sometimes when you're the guy and you're playing with the other guy, every now and then you got to step aside and let the other guy go to work. That's why they call it 1-2 punch. A lot of people get knocked out with the jab or they get knocked out with the knockout punch. So, I understand you saying they need a leader, but they also need to figure it out, okay, Jimmy's rolling tonight. Go ahead, Jimmy, you got it. Just like you and Joe did.
Mm-hmm. I look at Chicago also in terms of, they were built on toughness. And when you think of defense, you think of rebounding, toughness, and just, exerting your will on the opponent. But when you're trying to make yourself an offensive team, you lose a little bit of that defensive toughness, a lot of that defensive toughness. And I think that's where their identity crisis is coming in. I mean, when you look at Noah, you look at Gibson, those guys are tough guys. Butler, Rose, they come out on the floor and you automatically think toughness. You don't look at those guys and offense comes to mind. But when you look at Mirotic, when you look at Gasol, so right now their team is still trying to find which identity they're going to assume.
And Snell. So you had Mirotic, Snell, McDermott, and Gasol, and you have Butler, Rose, Noah, and Gibson on the other side. So it's like, which way are we going to play? Because it's one conducive for these four, and these four is conducive for another way.
And strangely enough, a lot of their defensive numbers, when you look at the analytics, are better than they were last year, and they were scoring more points last year than this team that's supposed to be more offensive-minded. Tonight they get 83, and it's enough to beat the Clippers 83-80. The Knicks and the Kings. We head back to Sacramento, where Charles, who in the past has entertained the idea of running for political office, is standing by. So, Chuck, I know you're eagerly anticipating the debate on Tuesday. How do you explain this Donald Trump phenomenon at this point? He's seems like every time he says something, no matter how controversial, he goes up in the polls in that Republican side. What do you make of that?
Well, first, tell my man to tell his mama to shut the hell up and just watch TV.
First, you mean the guy on Twitter?
Man's mama?
Yeah,
That's
the guy on
number
Twitter,
two, Chuck.
Tell his mom to shut the hell up and just watch the game.
That's why you need to be on Twitter, Chuck, so you can answer.
No. Hey, listen, I told you, Twitter's where fools go to feel important. I'm never going to do any social media. Hey, Ernie, this Donald Trump thing has been fascinating, sad, funny. It's all over the place. He started out insulting the Hispanics. You know, living in Arizona, I think the Hispanics are amazing people. To lump all Hispanics together, that was insulting. Now to lump all the Muslims together, that's even more insulting. Listen, this is the United States of America. This is the greatest place in the world. Do we have issues? Of course we have issues. But to try to divide and conquer, which is what the Republicans always do, it's just sad. And it's not, it really is. I feel bad just to insult people. And then you got these losers who love that because they're afraid to look in the mirror and say why their life suck. So they have to blame other people. Your life sucks for a reason because of you, not because of Hispanics. Do we have to do something about the extremists? Of course we do. But it's been sad to watch every time he insults people and his poll numbers go up. Him and Ben Carson, to be honest with you.
Do you wish you could be on that stage and have your say with all those candidates, Chuck? Or has this soured your possible political aspirations?
Not at all, Ernie, because listen, the truth always comes out in the wash. The guy I was supporting was, I've always voted Democratic in my life, but for the first time I was thinking, I haven't made a final decision, of voting for Republican. The guy that I was supporting was Governor Kasich out of Ohio, but he has not been able to get any traction whatsoever. So to be honest with you, at this point, I have no idea who I'm going to vote for. I don't.
Well, it doesn't mean you
dislike-
can't still support him, Charles.
Oh, I'm going to support Governor Kasich, but like I say, he's got to be relevant. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to gain any ground because, and to be honest with you, CNN has done an awful job this election, an awful job. They have followed ratings and sound bites this entire cycle. Think about it. And I love CNN because they're part of our company, but they've been kissing butt, chasing ratings. They become like Fox News for the Republicans, to be honest with you. They follow every single soundbite just to get ratings for these debates. And it's been sad and frustrating that our company has sold their soul for ratings.
Well, Chuck, typically a lot of times people vote for people who are from like their same socio-economic kind of background and have the similar ideas. But with Trump in the Republican Party, why you think people are enamored with someone who is probably less than 1% of the country that really kind of like the same likeness of them? Why do you think everyone is so enamored with him?
Well, Kenny, it's sad to say, I think there's been this racial there's this racial thing going on in our country right now that we have not confronted enough. We got first of all, we need the cops, but we got these very unfortunate incidents with the cops, and we need the cops. So that's that racial undertone. But if you go back and look what Donald has done, he's bringing up the illegal immigration thing. Now he's going with the Muslim thing. And I think people are afraid to talk about it. I think race does have a lot of, and sadly, because, I was born in 1963 with the church bombing in Birmingham. And it's sad to say 52 years later, we still have this racial divide. What we really have is an economic divide. And we need to talk about how we can close the economic divide, but the Republicans are capitalizing on the racial divide instead of the economic divide. And that's the reason, in my opinion.
Thank you, Governor Charles Barkley. I just want to say your makeup and your eyebrows are on fleek tonight. You look good.
Wow. Hey,
look good.
You just a hater on the moneymaker.
Any messages for Isaiah tonight? As he did an outstanding job, by the way, as your replacement for the evening.
Well,
Your
let me
new
tell you
name
something.
is Charles Caramel Kitten Barkley.
Well, as you know what, the one thing I can say about my Turner family, last week we had the great Lisa Leslie, substitute for Shaquille.
Yeah.
This week we had Isaiah substitute for me. He does a fabulous job on NBA television, I might add. But we have the best analyst. I'd even give Steve Smith a shout out, and Steve Smith, and even Jeremy, who's awful looking in person. But Rick Campbell.
You mean
Jared Greenberg?
Jared Green. I don't even know his name. My daughter thinks he's good looking. I need to get her another case of Lasix because he's not that good looking. But we have
well, all I know is if both of y'all had nights off, I'm trying to figure out how I'm getting out here one Thursday night then, Ernie, too. You and I are due for replacement.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, listen, hey, Kenny, let me just tell you something. You just better hope like hell Kobe Bryant don't want to come to TNT.
Hey, I think
you gone, bro.
Hey, no, listen. I've been begging for him to come. I've been begging.
Hey, let me tell you
Charles.
something. Hey, Shaq, let me tell you this. There are some nervous people on television because if Kobe Bryant want to go into television, one of us going to get fired. You can be sure of that.
Oh, so that's why you staying afterwards and doing this extra whole soliloquy about the political race instead of just getting out the arena?
Hey, let me first of all, it's Sacramento. There's nothing to do here. Come on.
But I know we
Charles.
were.
Charles, are your eyebrows in hub mode, or did you just get them arched extra high?
Hey, listen.
Niggas, it look like you're saying, huh?
I get my eyebrows waxed. There's no shame in my game. I get a mani and a pedi also. I be manscaping. I want people to get the full Barkley effect.
On that manscaping note, I think probably time to bid you a good night.
Please.
See you
Charles.
later, Caramel Kitten.
Thanks.
Hey, man, you guys, I'll see y'all next week. And I
Man,
really
enough,
enjoy
man.
it.
We done with you, man.
What do you make of Oklahoma City so far? It's 14-8 right now.
I love the way they're slowly developing and coming together. We know they're explosive, but the thing that I'm most impressed with is Westbrook in terms of his decision-making and his assists. Every night you look up, he's got double-digit assists. And the thing that we were criticizing him about earlier was that he didn't get others involved. Now he's getting others involved, he's playing well, he's shooting, and he's still rebounding. So he's maxing out in every category.
Second in the league in assists. That's 15 double-doubles. Second in the league is Russell Westbrook, and they win at 107-94. And Durant, a triple-double of 25, 12, and 10 tonight.
They're 1-2 punch, Durant, Westbrook, but I love when they get the others involved. But, Durant, when he's healthy, legs are going, jumpers going, they look pretty good. But I like when they get the others involved. Serge Ibaka had a good game tonight. If you can keep the others involved, keep everybody happy, then they should go pretty far.
They're coming off a win the other night. They were in Memphis and won 125-88. And Durant said at that time, he said that was beautiful basketball. That was fun to watch, and the way that Oklahoma could be playing every night.
Well, I'm even going to take it better than this guy and better than Steph Curry in this regard. He's the one guy in the NBA.
You're talking now. Who?
Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
That when you're playing against him as a guard, you're going to bed at 8 o'clock. There's no rest. Because not only he does what he can do, possibly what Steph can do offensively, but defensively, he's strong enough to give you problems. So, Zeke, I'm going to ask Zeke, greatest small guard probably of his era and ever. That night, which night are you getting more sleep? Playing Steph or playing Russell?
Ooh, I'm nervous both nights. I mean, really, because they both come at you in different ways. And
just individually, not as a team, not 23-0, but
no, but just their approaches.
The personal matchup. Who are you going to get more sleep against?
I'm probably going to have more problems with Westbrook in terms of his mentality, because he comes at you with a mentality that no other guard really plays with. It's 48 minutes of constant energy,
Hell.
constant, you know,
It's hell.
Yeah,
I've never seen anybody like him at his position.
yeah,
honestly.
and I mean, it's you know, Steph Curry right now, his jump shot is like Michael Jordan's dunk. Like when Jordan used to dunk and everybody get all excited. Well, that's Curry's three. So you're nervous about the three. So with Curry, I would just get up on him and okay, I'm gonna give you 20 layups tonight, but I ain't gonna give you no 3-point shots. But with Westbrook.
And you might get 25 shots off yourself. That's the difference. That's the only.
But Westbrook
Russell's
brings
not
a different kind of.
yeah.
He just got a different kind of thing that he's bringing to the game. Like, you know, it just makes you a little uncomfortable.
So 30. It might not be an hour. You're gonna go to bed 8:30 with Steph and 8 o'clock with
Russ.
Yeah, but you're scared of both of them.
Oh, no question.
You're scared of both of them.
Oh, some of guys you stand out all night, 2 o'clock in the morning. But,
Yeah, but the difference is you look at Westbrook and you say he might hit me. you know, Steph, you know, it's
Right.
okay, we just gonna have a basketball game.
Right.
But Westbrook, you're just not sure. It's like
it might turn into another sport.
That's all for us tonight, and I'm thankful for that.
Way to show my string, Ant. Boy, you like taking care of your boy Chuck.
This is how
Tell you.
this is.
Come on, Ant.